Can you see how big the bag is? Hello everybody, it is Lindy, and today I'm going to do a video all about how I'm making bed skirts for my dorm. For dorm beds, usually you'll only see the inside of the beds. I'll insert a picture to kind of like point and show you guys what I mean. You'll see the feet of the beds and the inside. There's usually a pretty small room, so there's usually a wall on one side of both beds. So for bed skirts, you don't really need panels on each side, if that makes sense. For my dorm room freshman year, we had our bed skirts made, and they were made with a rod pocket, and we used a tension rod to hold them up. But my mom and I have devised a plan to make our own, and hopefully make them a little easier to use than the tension rod ones were. We took a trip to Pottery Barn Outlet, which we are blessed to have a Pottery Barn Outlet here in St. Louis. We've been to ours a few times before, so we knew it was the place to go when looking for this project. So Mackenzie's mom is actually helping us make pillows for our dorm beds, and we've already gone to Pottery Barn Outlet and bought blackout lined drapery panels to make our dorm pillows out of. What I failed to mention is that by buying these clearance drapery panels at the outlet, we got way more fabric and for way cheaper than we would at the fabric store. So we knew that this was a good idea to go and find fabric that was thick enough to be used as an upholstery type fabric almost. If you don't have a Pottery Barn Outlet in your area, you could look at TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Ross, Home Goods. They all have curtains, curtain panels, nice and lined for a pretty good price. The way that we're making this is not going to be the most quality, you could say. We're going to kind of just throw this together with what we know about sewing. We don't know much, so we're just kind of making it up along the way. So this is definitely a quick fix if you're looking for a dorm bed skirt. It's going to do the job, which in a dorm, the job is pretty much just to cover the junk that you hide under your bed. Which for me, freshman year, I had dresser drawers. I knocked over a box of K-cups under there. It was a wreck. But once you put the bed skirt over it, you can't tell. I'm going to show you how we plan on making bed skirts that are white velvet with a little pink linen ruffle at the bottom. So here we are at Pottery Barn Outlet. As you can see, there's stuff everywhere. It's just rows and rows of clearance furniture, lamps, headboards, sheets, drapes, you name it. So this is a bulletin board, but my mom and I always think that if you hung it on the wall, it could look like a headboard in a dorm. Keep an eye out when you go to places like Marshalls and TJ Maxx because you never know if they're going to have bulletin boards that you can maybe do that with. I don't know if that would work. Haven't tried it, just thinking out loud. So these are all giant clearance boxes. They're full of just random stuff, and it's all on clearance with an extra 50% off. So I picked up this panel, and it is a drapery panel, and it is white velvet. This is the same fabric as one of the pillows that we got to make a little accent monogram pillow for our beds. So I thought that would be cute, just a plain base for the bed skirt color. And then I also found a bigger panel of that same white velvet fabric. So that just gave us enough to do the insides of the bed, skirts, and the foot. This is a giant linen, beautiful light pink fitted sheet. So I have a thought that if you cut the elastic off of this, that it's like a ruffle kind of already. I'll show you that later in the video. All of this cost us about $90, which leaves us at about $45 per bed skirt, which is a pretty good deal considering how hopefully designer-esque these are gonna look. So we took the drape and laid it out, and we're gonna cut it down the middle. Would you call that lengthwise? This is hot dog, I think, when we were talking about folding paper. We're gonna cut it hot dog style.
It's a long way, so
yeah.
We don't have seams.
108 inches long, and it's gonna do the sides of the bed skirts. And we're gonna cut it down the middle and then add trim to the bottom of it, because if we just cut it, it wouldn't be long enough.
I'm gonna keep these edges that are already hemmed nicely for the top edge, I think. And since you're adding on to the bottom anyway, we're gonna use that edge.
Good eye.
As the raw edge, it's the bottom we add on to.
If you don't know how to sew, neither do we, so don't worry. And yeah, this is a blackout panel, so it's thick already, and then it's lined, so it's extra thick, so it looks bougie, honestly. My mom is nervous to be in the video, but she wanted me to tell you to measure twice and cut once so that you don't mess up, obviously. So I hope this isn't confusing, but once we cut this, we're gonna have 2 bed skirts, and then the length of these is gonna, or the length of this, 108 inches, but then the dorm beds are twin XL, which is 80 inches long. So we're gonna have like about, what, 30 inches to kind of like ruffle and gather it underneath
just a little,
the bed.
not a lot.
Yeah. So it's not going to be completely flat. So we cut each side, and now we have the 2 bases for our bed skirts. So now that we've cut the base of some of the panels, we have this gigantic linen fitted sheet that we're gonna try and make a ruffle on the bottom, since like I said, these aren't long enough to fully cover the underneath of the bed when they're raised all the way up. This is where my genius plan came in. So when I was looking at the fitted sheet, I realized that the elastic kind of formed a ruffle in the fabric. So I'm like, if we just cut that out, we could have a ruffle already made for us. Dorm beds can raise up, some might be different, but ours go to 33 inches high, so we're lacking like 7 inches.
Yeah, 7 probably. I was gonna do like 10, but
yeah, 10's
by
fine.
the time you steam it and
yeah,
flip it.
We're doing about a 10-inch ruffle on the bottom of the extra fabric, just because that's how much we need for our particular situation. Okay, so we cut out the fitted part of the fitted sheet about roughly, emphasis on roughly, 11 inches down. So now look at this, we have like a ruffle. We love a genius.
You said?
Yeah, so cute.
And just attach it.
It was kind of
so.
So we ended up needing some more ruffle than just the elastic part of the fitted sheet. Whoops. So we cut another 11-inch chunk. And now my mom is going to attempt to make a ruffle. So she's just gonna put the thread through the fabric and then pull the fabric as tight as she wants the ruffle to be. I wanted to show you guys that we are using extra strong upholstery weight thread. And then here is our ruffle that my mom made. So now we're just pinning the ruffle fabric to the bottom of the bed skirt, and you'll see we're actually flipping it up so that way once the bed skirt is laid out, you won't see the elastic. If that makes any literal sense at all. I don't know. So here my mom is cutting ribbon. We actually used clear nail polish to seal the ends of the ribbon so they didn't fray. We're gonna sew these ribbons onto the top of the bed skirt, which is what we're tying it onto the bed with. Due to the weight of this fabric, we don't think that just using a rod pocket and a tension rod would hold these up, so that's why we're doing the ties. And then here is just some scrap fabric that we have left over, which we're gonna try to implement elsewhere in my room. Alrighty, hello everyone, the bed skirts are all finished. Oh, here they are. Ah, so pretty. And this unfolds one more time, but I'm not going to. So here are the ribbons on the top, which will tie onto the bed, and you can see the pretty ruffle. I think that this went so well, but it seriously could not have been done without help from my mom. I owe it all to her, seriously. Yeah, I hope someone can try this out, or if this helps anybody just get inspiration for their room. If you want to see this guy go up in my room, definitely subscribe. I will be doing some more dorm DIY videos if that's something y'all are interested in, as well as a move-in day tour. I'm actually living in my sorority house this year, and I'm super excited to try these guys out.